collective energy reading. Please only take what resonates. Always leave the rest for the best. Don't stress. Because if you're stressing, like our people are with this sage, people will be cracking. They're seeing that spiritual awakening now. You're going to see these cracks because they could be contemplating in that feeling, that's discernment. You know, when stuff start breaking away and it's that emotion. And you start feeling it's deep down. It's that world. It's changing. Because it's forever changing time. So certain people can see that clock against the wall. That's that higher awakening. That's when you get that calling from the Most High. It starts speaking to you. You having to start here and listen to thy words. Because that's when you're getting wisdom and you start getting that discipline. You have to look at the structures. You have to look at your world and your mindset. What you valuing. That's when you've got balance within your heart, emotions. You could be in that divine feminine energy. This could be a masculine now looking back and putting the connecting the dots. Because that's you looking at those foundations. The mystical aspects to your story, the illusions. That's when you then come past emotions. You've gone through all like the earth, air, fire, water. You've had to gain energy, strength, compassion, understanding to overstand. That's you connecting to that wholeness. Having that omnipresence going towards the north because you're not no dwarf, so you don't worry about the shit what was in that past. Those family members, those friends, the communities, the jobs, the people that you worked alongside with that didn't serve you no good and wasn't enabling you to be able to grow. They could have been speaking bad about you, just the way how you working and the way how you're moving or the way how you're communicating. They have a social awareness of you because you're getting that overnight success. That's when you're moving forward up that ladder. You can see these snakes, you've bypassed them. They tried to pull you down, you put yourself back up because that was a lot of endurance, a lot of heartache, pain and suffering. You went into that hermit, you gained introspection, you went and got that strength. You gained understanding and you had to end. That was a part of that cycle. When people had that sabotage alert. Not every smile is safe. Fake, hugs, hide, daggers, sugar, always coats, the blue and that blade. When people have got this ego and they're in that pride and they're trying to be brave and controlling and stubborn. All because of their mindset. Because they're not unable to grow. That's when they institutionalize within their mind. Trying to make you institutionalize. When you know when you're just stuck in that one spiritual Bible book and it bashes you. To block you. To not enabling you to grow. Because then you're stuck and you're refined because of these rules. And they wasn't listening to the commandments. Because they had these scarcity tactics. And now they're feeling like they're missing. They could be missing you. That's a letter they may be wanting to write. They could be feeling like from autumn. Like trapped in their mind and their thoughts. Because that stop lying to yourself, and that's when you have to think faster, think wiser, think better, communicate, have that understanding. Because what is at the back? Remember I spilled the coffee in here, guys, so they still got the coffee, I'm going to still get through them. It says, it's already got his people thinking, I'm some horrible medicine woman. So they could be thinking they've got your people who's just some horrible medicine woman. Like you're taking control and you're trying to be able to be creative and but selfish and clinging on to certain things, like you're not caring, not providing, like you've got not love and you haven't got compassion, like you've got these illusions, like you're full of confusions, like you've got some bad habits. This could be this masculine. They could see you're trying to do manipulation and you was manipulating and controlling. You lacked compassion and you wasn't caring, you didn't have love. Now they're on that rock because they can see that's when you was lying and they're in that feelings now because you know you got that discernment and you start to connect back to the emotions when you was the one who was controlling or they thought they was being wise because they was being selfish. That's when you're clinging on to things that you shouldn't, all because of their habits. When I came back, I will try what you have for me. So when I come back, I will try what you have for me. So they may be wanting you to be now. They're missing you because they was in their ego. They're seeing that self-sabotage. They could see your overnight success. They may be wanting to be able to come back towards you because they can see you as a part of that world. Their emotions, they're connecting, getting that higher clarity. They may see you as their divine feminine masculine. They was indecisive because of the choices that they was making. They was like love, giving it to others, not connecting to their mind and their thoughts when they was acting and reacting. That's because of like people in the community. You know, you think you're being wise. Somebody in their community could have been wise and had a social awareness of you. They was slightly detached from their emotions, didn't know how to show it. You know when you dream that it's now, it's happening. So when you're dreaming and you're going forward to their dreaming, they could be in their bubble, this masculine now, getting connected to their emotions, bridging those gaps, seeing it's that root. and they can see their karma, what they've gone through, and they're looking now because that's a part of their private life, and that's that foundation, you know, in your mind and your that psychic, psychological aspects. It called confusions, illusions, because you can't forgive, you can't forget about the things that they've done. Now they lack compassion, so now they're connected to their heart, those emotions, making them get aware of the actions that they took. That's when you have to look and self-reflect and analyze and recognize and go through all of those emotions and see the way you was acting and the way you was moving and what you was achieving and who was growing, because they can see you moving. Yes, she's nervous. Why wouldn't she be nervous? So yes, that feminine energy could be nervous. Why wouldn't she be nervous when they were speaking bad about you? Maybe when they even have to see you in their approach and that social aspects because of their mindset, the way how they put themselves out in public. Maybe they wasn't so nice, unbalanced of their mind. Man them in the barbers can sing good, take you to church, spiritual sound, soul. So the man them in the barbers, they're taking them to church, they're the head. Now they're connecting to the mind, the thoughts, the feelings in their head. That could be those spiritual signs. That's the ancestors speaking to these divine feminines and masculines, 6-6. That's looking at them, telling them about that karmic cycle. Why was you being a fool? You're not married. That's why you're a sinner. Say they could be saying you're not married, that's why you're a sinner. They couldn't be married, that's why they're not a sinner, that's why they're a sinner. They could be saying now they could have had a divorce, and when I come back now, try and add for me. They wanting this justice. This could be this Knight of Pentacles. So they may be one looking back now because they've got a social awareness of you. They may be having to go court, spiritual court. That's when you have to look, because they're in church, in the barbers, and the people are speaking to them, singing, taking them to church, giving them that high awareness. They could be seeking knowledge now from like somebody official. You could be hearing about some laws and rules and regulations now, this Knight of Pentacles, about money. They maybe need to look at these foundations, the structure about one business. This could be a businessman now. They may be wanting to be able to come and give you. They're saying serving steady wins the race because they're connecting. That's when you have to be wise. You're trying to be able to protect what you've got, those emotions. You're putting all the world on your back, those thoughts and those feelings, and that's when you've gone through and you're getting married now because you can see you're not married. They can see you're a sinner. This Page of Cups, out, socialising, partying. And that's that dreamer, naive, innocent, inner child, head in the clouds. So they could be wanting to come and tell you about they was moving like a knight, slow, a page, not thinking, out socialising, partying. You're going to gain introspection about the things that was in the unknown. 8 of Swords. They're going to come and tell you about this because they're trapped now. It's restricted. They could be feeling victimised and helpless, powerless and blinded because of the actions that they took, or because of those illusions when they was idolising and what they was going for, the actions that they took when they was moving with love, holding on. That's when you got lust and greed and you're looking at other people and wanting the things, because that's when you're being red-eyed, bad mind, jealous, vindictive. That could have been about assets, money, values, what you was valuing. Who had these hidden skins, could have had hidden skins. They could have been like a shapeshifter, transformed, because you know when you're on that karmic cycle, and you're not looking back to the mysteries of your stories, or because your insecurities, and you want connecting, having that self-assurance. You want analysing and recognising the actions when you're taking actions, when you're moving with balance, or was you're not moving with that rightful balance, because you didn't have them firm foundations in your structures. It's just about holding on and on and on and not rolling on like a rolling stone. So they was moving like a rolling stone. It says, let go of hurt, grudge, 10-10, cycles, let go of burdens, justice. Didn't listen to the bullshit. Snakes set for you. Keep moving. So you seen those snakes. Did I say snakes and ladders? Well, there's a flipping snail there. So you seen those snakes were set to you. So you kept on moving forward because you seen they were slow and steady. They was trying to win this race. They was committed. Took advantage of children and young people. Took your rights away. So these family members, friends, this could have been justice. This could have been like social services. Could have took advantage of your young people. Took your rights away, so you wasn't able to be able to make those positive choices for the things that you're needing, what you're liking. So you was insecure, and then you didn't get organised. You was detached from those emotions. That was all from childhood. That's like mother figures, father figures, and when you got to go through those settings, it's emotional factors that you have to go through. And you have to see the people was uncompromising. So they could have had a feminine energy that could have been uncompromising, took children's rights away. They could have took their child, have to go to court in regards to certain children. Take this all as it resonates. Can you sit down while I tell you this? This could be this page. They could be seeing slow and steady now committed, because they can see that's the conservative. They're trying to find that right way to be able to protect your feelings, maybe creative in the way that they're speaking, because of the way our people was acting. You may be having to use your intuitions to have that discernment, physically, mentally, emotionally connect, because they're going to tell you about these habits and the way that they're feeling now, and about this foundation and what they was trying to be able to secure at that job, and this father figure. Take this all as it resonates, about this home and the roots, about this environment and that early ages. We know when you got that upbringing. Helps emotional body, copper. So they may need copper, because that's grounding your chakras, and that's you having that stones. It's helping you manifest those desires. It's aligning your spiritual energy, just bringing you those high vibrations and its physical railings. It's connecting your true potentials, divine, connecting your higher being and spiritual guides. Yes, offering you that protection from all negative energies and that psychic attacks. When people are putting these attacks towards you, they can really tell you about certain people was not being fair-minded, they was uncompromising, they was shouting words towards you. These are people in your social group that you was around, family members, friends that you could have been working with, socialized with when you was younger. Maybe you're getting inner standing now, because they're inner standing now, looking and listening to their spirit within inside of them about the actions that they took. They was being uncompromising when they wasn't listening, and they was talking to other people in their community. You're going to gain higher awareness, or because of their emotional factors. This could have been things that stem from childhood, and that roots, what didn't they lack balance, and it was all because of the partnerships, and when they was having these relationships, and they was being stubborn to be able to possess and controlling over material aspects of life, money, powerful, because that's that sense of calmness now and stability they're looking, because they're using their intuitions. It's releasing all those emotional burdens. It's healing past traumas, using it to have that heal those past traumas. Staying steady around that race. You got steadfast, organized, listen to the spirit within you, ended those cycles. You moved forward towards your destiny. That was because you was evolving. You made those sudden changes because you had that awakening. You was unable to transform. You had those firm foundations and structures, and that was promoting that mental clarity. You had the copper and amethyst. You was able to be able to purify yourself, cleanse certain energies, and that was letting go. Lethargy, and that was that calming and soothing properties. And you had to look, because that was you hydrating that copper, and that was enable you to be able to communicate. So now they may be needing to be able to hydrate themselves so they can come and communicate towards you. I'm single, divine feminine, divine masculine. So they could be out now coming towards you, single, feeling this dreamer, naive. No emotional, spiritual intelligence, no emotions. So they've got no emotional, spiritual intelligence, no emotions. So they can say now, because that's that world, they've gone through that cycle, their mindset and what their values. They're not like got compassion. They don't listen. They've got no inner peace, because they're always out dreaming. They got the innocent. That's that inner child. They need to be able to heal that, because they're not wise and got that judgment, because their mindset, the way they think. It's all about when you're socializing, when you're around certain groups, and that's that curiosity. They've got short thinking. It always kills the cat, because that Two of Pentacles, juggling, adaptability. They like to take advantage, money. Now they're seeing that 12, 13, that's that death. That's all because of their mindset, quick, fast, impulsive. Spending money, socialising, partying, not connecting, not looking at those firm foundations. Always got a partner and speaking in the way that they're speaking, quick, lie, dry, sly. This King of Pentacles, they need that body because that's that copper, because they've not got no balance. They lack balance. Because the hard work that they're putting in their mindset, they was always low chakras, running after money. They didn't understand to be able to understand what they're valuing. You had to nurture yourself and make sure you cared in what you was putting in. You had to have that balance of like physical as well as mental, emotional balance. You had to prioritize yourself and do it in a positive way. It was hard work. They've now seen that improvement. That's because you had to look at the structures. You had to make that change of that spiritual awakening. That was you getting that 10, because you had to end that cycle. Now this divine feminine, masculine, they're having that awakening. That's they could see. They was insecurities, killed them and blocked them and stopped them to not enable them to be able to grow. And that's when you have to see that destiny. It's a sudden change. You have to have that thought. It's like you gaining that introspection, your self-development, self-awareness, connecting, having that wholeness, listening to the spirit within inside of you to transform, to change. That's looking at your emotional structures, your imagination. How are you doing it? Are you doing it in a positive way? Are you independent to enable people to be able to grow? Or are you unconventional? Because they can see now, that's that emotional and spiritual intelligence, they lacked it. So they was in 5 of Cups, they're in grief now, because you know when you're on that 15, you're stuck with that devil energy, always out socialising, partying. So they're always out socialising and partying. Socialising and partying. Now they're in their emotions, because when you have to look back what you was running after and chasing after. This could be in a feminine energy trying to block you, stop you, spell words, speaking. Certain things that you've seen in secret. Mistress to your story. They had a social awareness of you. Trying to block you, your work, because that was hard work that you was putting in. They was putting in that hard work to block you. Now then you can see these illusions to the confusions. All because of their mindset. Certain people didn't realise that you had these hidden skills and you wasn't able to be able to grow. They were spiritually, mentally, emotionally blocked. That's where you got no manners, no respect, no dignity. That's where you're not looking about the mistress to your story. Having compassion for yourself. You have to nurture yourself and nurture other people. That's when you have to start monitoring those spirits. Who's around you, who's blocking you, who's making you up and who's making you feel down. That's when you're adapting. You're transforming, moving with love for yourself. Certain people are stubborn, holding on, trying to adapt to those things. You have to take that change. When you're taking that action to go towards your success, people are doing things in secret, trying to be able to dominate over your resources, your partner, your relationship. That's you, and you're getting connected and you're highly favoured because you're improving, adapting, enabling, supporting yourself to grow. They've got a social awareness of you. This could have been a masculine, feminine. You could be a mother, father. This could be a Cancer. It could even be a Libra. You could take it. It could be even Capricorn. You're going to want to say it could even be a Aries. Taurus. You've got Aquarius. You've got the Scorpio. As well as August. What's you? You're going to be September. You're going to say September Virgo, or you're going to be a Libra. A Leo, sorry. People are taking the PWIS. May. Could be significant Taurus. Or you're going to have a Leo. Stubborn as can be. 3 Geminis. 3 Pisces. Which way you want to put it. Because it's, I'm telling you, with the Gregorian, we're on the astral calendar. You're not on the normal one. You're going to see these people is blocking all for money. When you see you're adaptable because you're dependable, you're connected, you're down to earth, you're grounded. They have got a social awareness of you. Most people around here don't trust an outsider. So you can see the people within their community, where they are, they don't trust the outsider. That's when they ain't got that same wisdom, the knowledge, that feminine energy. Sorry to see how things are for you. Poor black single woman, no man, stuck in her hometown, broke, no money. So they wanted you to be stuck in your hometown, blocked, no money, stress within your head, emotional factors, so you wasn't connecting to your heart, and you was in private crying, having that 4 of Swords on the dance floor while they were lying down with your man one more. We beauty experts, oh my gosh, beauty dodgers, beauty dodgerlists. So they was beauty experts, improving actual energies, out socialising, partying, things in that underworld. You're going to see those secrets. They could have been out, you know, when you're going to dominate over women and actual parties, socialise, the strip clubs. They either say they're either you got the less, the ladies got on less clothes. So they was out in stripper clubs. They weren't protecting themselves. They was out, Knight of Pentacles, spending their money. They wasn't being practical. And now they're looking now about the actions that they took when they was out socializing with other people, spending money. Five of Cups, because having grief. They lack compassion, lacked emotion, wasting money, wasting resources. Now they're in their mind, they're conflicted now because of that love, and they could be feeling their heart now that love. Oh yeah, you're right about that garden, or that Garden of Eden. She's the snake. So now they're saying, oh yeah, you're right about that Garden of Eden too. That feminine energy that they was around. She's a snake. Too bad I can't say the same about my son, because is marrying your daughter. So they can say, this feminine energy could be saying, too bad I can't say about your son, because he's marrying my daughter. My daughter. So they could have married somebody. You're going to hear about they could have married somebody and they was marrying a snake. Because they're seeing now this was in the reverse it goes. Most people around there don't trust an outsider. Because they can see now the actions. Mars. So that's that aggressive, courageous, direct energy, egotistical. That's when, you know, when you got these magician skills and you're confronting the actions, the way our people's moving, having this extra energies, stress, there comes aggression, conflict, taking action. So you're going to see people that could have been taking action about this money. They've got to go to court now. Finances, they was trying to be able to possess this money. You're going to see they need justice. And that was like tactful. They was being tactful to be able to gain that. Because they was like eccentric. They thought they was being eccentric, unconventional, uncompromising. You're going to see, you're going to gain understanding about that. Because that's when you've got these friends and the people that you was associating around and those acquaintances. They could have been having equal exchange pride, trying to block you and transform and change your divine feminine masculine's mind to be able to possess this money, because it was about personal matters. And I am, because about love. So they're seeing that cherish, again in understanding. They're getting that high awareness now because they're connecting. They're seeing the mysteries to their stories, the secrets, the food, emotions, their thoughts, that improvement, that growth. That's that love. They're gaining that understanding now. They may be looking towards you and seeing you growing and idolizing and growing that love towards you. It's that charm and that art and that beauty, and it's the way that you speak, you communicate, you're balanced. They may see your beauty, because it's too bad I can't say the same about my son. This is marrying your daughter. This Leo, they could be courageous now and controlling. Your belies, and it's the cost of, and they use the most way. So you could have a different religious background, understanding. You could be like a high priestess, and they're like Christians. So they're telling you you're more spiritual. They're more like in the church. You're more unconventional towards them, their ways. You've got spiritual, emotional, mental, physical balance. They just got connected to the Jesus, and you're more emotional. You're outgoing. You're connecting. You got high clarity. You're brave. You step out the box. You look at your life force. You see your conscious. You connect to your heart, your emotions. You move with love. So you got like breaking generational curses. You're that unlocker. You got the master and the key to that transformation. You're the one to enable, because that's Uranus. And when you're growing and you're evolving and you're progressing, and they see that originality, that's that sudden change. And that's stirring up the situation, and that's using by the new way of ideas, the way how you communicate, the way how you're affected, the way how you put that growth and transform, make that positive change, connect to your heart, your emotions, your high priestess, the way how you're able to use your intuitions and manifest your growth. So you'll be getting justice because you're manifesting your growth. People are vexed the way how you're moving, because you move with love. You got that balance, understanding, and you seeing the cost of that now, that improvement, because certain people are stressed and having these emotions, or because when those out socializing, partying with your masculine, this could have been that feminine energy trying to block you. They're vexed, stressed, got a social awareness of you. Computer, I keep telling you, fake people who make these fake pages, you lot are lost in your soul. This heartache and pain must be killing you. Because you see the actions and their anger and its aggression, because you've got these hidden skills and these hidden abilities. They was in the ego aggressive, trying to be controlling, possessive, not enabling you able to grow because they were slow. And they was too determined to be able to block you. That was because of how you communicated. That was you was connected to the Holy Trinity within that divine. And they didn't have that personal power. They just did things for personal pleasures. They was no help. So that feminine was no help to be able to gain that justice. Because now they can see that masculine, they was trying to be possessive, controlling, blocking and stopping, all because they was in the ego. I underestimated you divine feminine. You're a star. So they underestimated you. Now they're looking back. They can see you are that star. You're that shining one. Justice is for you. Social awareness of you. They was flighted, detached from their emotions. You've got your originality. They can see it's that sudden change, that progress, awakening. Time to start enjoying life. So it's time for you to now start enjoying life. That Eight of Pentacles, love, taking that action, growing, moving. Because you're getting to that 9. And you're on that higher level. And that's a part of that divine. Because I see you now. Boy, you hold that power of love. Oh, so now they see you now. Boy, you're holding that power of love. Take this all as it resonates. Because remember, you're that star and they see you because you're, oh gosh, it goes the wrong way. That way, this way. We'll take this one. It says, you can't go back to yesterday and move on, John. So you can't go back to yesterday. You're just moving on. You're getting that awakening with your original self. You're progressing while they was rebelling and smelling. And now someone wants to be able to come and start telling about these family members and these friends. You're going to start understanding about these people who had a common interest in you and your social awareness of you. The people that you was rolling with, strolling with. They was blocked. They got stopped. All because they was sabotaging alerts. All because you was moving forward. And now they're needing this help. And there was no help. From the bottom to the top. Because that queen and crown vibes. Heavy crown, steady stride, respect. Trials are her rules. Never ask. Because you're balanced. You're connected to the spirit, to the divine. Higher clarity. You're like that high priestess. You just had these hidden agendas. You've seen what these people had when they had these hidden agendas. Family members, friends that was around you. Thought they was wise. Wasn't so wise when they was being stubborn, trying to control because they was idolizing you because you had these intuitions. Social awareness. You was grounded. You was sociable. You was down to earth. And they was doing certain things for extra energies, pleasures. They wanted to do those things in secret with your partner. How bad mind are these people? On a blood clot, bad mind. That's what you call Jezebel spirits. Vindictive. Clingy. They're like them wolf in sheep's clothing. That's what you call the wolf in sheep's clothing. When they hide things and they've got these secrets. And they're only lying to the self. And then they're triggering their self and those emotions. And when you're speaking these things, it triggers them. Because they haven't got that personal power, that inner power to transform. Or because they're like red eye, bad mind. Driven. Through jealousy, like you're fast and quick, you got no mind capacity because they're psychological aspects of their mind. That's what you call crazy. And they got a right to turn around and call you crazy and say that you did this and you did that because they're unbalanced mentally, emotionally. It stems from childhood and that's rooted within inside of them because they inherited sin. They lacked knowledge, lacked understanding to overstand. They wasn't able to be able to master their craft. Because when you have to look, it's about how people see you in public and how you're destroying yourself. And they could even be looking at, because that's that turning into that higher awareness, higher philosophy, because you was not connected. Because smiles hide sharp plans. Sweet words cut deep. Every vibe carries an agenda. So you seen these agendas, you gain introspection about these family members and friends, that they was causing confusions and illusions. You felt it all within you. You seen the actions that they took, even the way that they look, their eyes. You could see it in the eyes, the way they speak and look on you. Their eyes showed you all. They're always watching you, analysing you, those family members and friends. They're my eyes, they're my eyes, they're my eyes, yo. The eyes in you all the time. So you feel it, because it's an energy. Listen to your gut feeling about these family members and friends. Because that's boundaries, violations, crosses her lines. Face the bill. Boundaries roar louder than laws. So they're getting that higher clarity. 745, that feminine energy, a family member, a friend. Now they're seeing they're having this stress because they can see they're connecting, that high awareness. They weren't stable. They're now seeing that you're a high priestess and you was connected to your intuitions about when they was out socializing, partying. You gained introspection. There was in a childlike spirit. Their head was way above the clouds. When they was trying to be able to communicate, they was thinking actual energies, doing it for lust, greed. That's because it wasn't balanced, selfish, watching you. That's because of their foundations, love. They lack love. They spotlight queen. They wanted to be in the spotlight. Just to be somebody. She said, wanna go somewhere, but now they gotta wake up and then have to pay attention as to who you are. Because that's that spotlight. And it bends at her will. Charisma burns hotter than lights. Envy crowd shifts in her orbit. So you're connected. You've got a social awareness. People have got a social awareness of me, social awareness of you. I didn't mean to say me. They meant to say, they meant to say people because talking about you like that. And they meant to say, but there's someone's going to hear when they're speaking about you. They meant to say, they didn't mean to say that. Because they was watching you and idolizing you, the way how you got your growth and the way how you're speaking with your growth. You're able to communicate and give compassion towards others. Because you're enabling people to be able to grow. They can see how you're loyal and you're creative in the way that you create to be able to speak with balance. Enabling people to connect to that roots and that routine check. It's about your heart, those emotions, those thoughts. It's the energy, habits. Are you got firm foundations? Or are you doing things in like the unknown so you're not moving with love? Because when you're giving and receiving, it's unconditional love. Because certain people, you're seeing, they slay like a star, you're grounded, you've got eye introspection, you've got clarity. Sorry is not in her script. She's the star with no filter. So these people thought, sorry's not in my script. I'm the star with no filter. Like they was more than you. These are family members and friends that are connected to you. 11. These are things that was coming, ancestral karma, and like people within your family. This could be a cousin, a family member, a friend. Someone you grew up within your social community. You could have supported them, and even when you was going through grief, they weren't there to support you. You had to give that balance. You had to love yourself and give it back towards yourself. You had to be brave and stubborn. People was being stubborn. They was wild and controlling. And that you had to look because you had to connect to a part of your life force. You was creative and you had to empower yourself and look at those steadfast moments at times and look at your needs and what you wanted and how you wanted to be able to grow. Because they can see that you're going to this overnight success. They don't like it. Because they got coming with these red flags now. And they could be leaving this with red flags. And they didn't see the warning flags. This divine masculine when they was having these intentions. You may not have seen their warning signs. They may be coming back with red flags towards you. Because they can see that crown vibes now. So it's better. It's potential trouble. You know better. They picked up this potential trouble, picked up because they was like people who had a social awareness when they was out partying, actual energies, that feminine energy. They could be steady. They wanted to be able to gain. You know when you got one of them friends who just always like to be there. Now they're getting left on red because they had these hidden agendas. It's divine timing because that was that boundary violation. When you have to connect and you have to see, patience was required. You had to hold patience, hold that love of inside of your heart because you knew about divine interventions. And you was that star slayer. You explain these things to these divine feminines and masculines because they see in these red flags. We used to be inseparable, unable to separate or treated separately. We was glued together. We was in love. I spent most of my time with you. So now they can see they're looking back towards you. You may see these red flags because they was lying, cheating, got things in the unknown. They maybe want to come back to tell you I was inseparable. I want to give you this justice. We was always together, balanced when we was together. Oh, Kevin Gates. Struggles your head and beat your back in. She says I could be more sensitive. Struggles and beat your back in. She says I could be more sensitive. They may be coming with a gift. Mind these red flags when they're coming in. Remember, they're still not sensitive. They're still not fully connected yet because they need help. because they're leaving you on red. They could be getting left on red. If you had not been putting so much pressure on him, he wouldn't have the need to live and lie to us about in a relationship with a stranger. So they could have been lying about this hidden agenda, that they had this relationship with this stranger. There's nothing wrong with wanting your kids in a loving relationship. So they could have gone back to somebody and wanting their kids in a loving relationship now because they picked up somebody and it was stress and it was conflict, trying to dominate over them about money and resources. They could be having pressure now because that's that transformation. You look back towards those legacies. And that's when you was having extra energies, and it's that old cycle and it has to decay and you got to rebirth and it's a transformation. Now they could be looking now about surgical problems and have psychological stress now because there was unconscious in taking actions. And that's looking at because about those relationships, people who you had these mysteries with, and you have to connect back to your story because that's about love and family and healing. Who you're attracting and creating within that community. It's like domestic bliss, and now they could see the domestic bliss that they're going through because divine timing. You got a fast car. We got to make decisions. Are we going to leave tonight or are we going to die this way? So we're going to leave tonight or you're going to end that way. You're going to leave with that love, joy, compassion. Use your intuitions about this money. Be dependable. 7. Transform, change, grow, move. Make that decision a choice. Take that all as it resonates about these relationships. Balance. Go out and party. End this cycle. Certain people are in their egos because of the struggles in their head. Because they was kissing. So they was kissing ass. Okay, you're going to see. And now there's nothing. Because there's love on their brain. And let that fantasy can't stop thinking. And it's often never left. Because now they're all every little thing that I do. You get me on you. Because there's freaky things you do. You got a lot of freaking you, baby. This impersonator. Now they're having this girl fight within their mind. Because that's the intuitions. They have these jealous vibes. Because I'm so into you. The divine masculine don't know what to do. Now they don't know what to do all of a sudden. Because they're having that reality check. Mic check 1 2 1 2. They could be out in the music, seeing and hearing that mic check 1 2 1 2. Because all of a sudden they're missing you. They could be feeling bankrupt spiritually, emotionally. You could hear that they're bankrupt. So there was around people that was kissing ass. Now they're having their struggles in their mind. Because this is the urban truths. Take your power back. Someone drained your strength. You're reclaiming what your confidence raises again. So you just broke the chains. You broke every change. Broke every change. So it's change. Broke every change. Broke every chain. Someone could be breaking every change. That somebody more's taking their money. So they could be getting justice now. Because they're in stress. They may be feeling burdened. Because there's love on their brain. Oh. Because people had jealous relations and jealous reactions. Oh, they thought they was having this jealous reaction. You're not jealous. Something triggered their insecurity. Jealousy rises quickly. Emotions. Shit sharper than unexpected. They could be releasing that jealous and the reactions. You may not be jealous and you may not have this reaction because you just released jealousy. You let go. You took that as change. Transformed. Had that death. Kept on moving forward. Because that slow and steady, it wins the race. Because you, the prize. They had attachments issues. Stop overgiving. So you had to stop overgiving from these attachments issues because you knew you was at the prize. They had attachments issues because you stopped overgiving. This impersonator. Take responsibility. Your choices shape your path. Growth begins when you own your actions. This is your turning point. So they need that turning point because it's that wheel. They've got to make that change. So this girl fight, they're fighting with their emotions. Block the noise. So they're stressed, conflict in their mind now because they're thinking it's too many options. That's that clouded. It's clarity. Silence helps you reconnect with your perfect and your inner voice, because that's when you listen to your heart, those emotions. And wrong timing, they could have seen that it's all wrong timing. They could be feeling bankrupt because they're missing out. They could be feeling like you're missing out. They have childhood trauma. So they've got childhood trauma. They need to take back that power, because it stems from things, emotional factors from their heart. Going back, they was spiritually, mentally blocked because they was not jealous. They had jealous aspects about changing time and wheels and transforming when certain people wasn't connecting, because they was what was being wise. Two-faced, hiding from others. They don't want to show emotion. So they was hiding from other people because they didn't show emotion. They lacked that compassion, that inner peace. They got kicked out my energy, too divine. So they got kicked out your energy. So you wasn't jealous. You kicked them out the energy because you're too divine, connected to your spirit within. You got that Holy Trinity. You had to have compassion towards yourself. Creative, speak, move. I ain't flowing. I'm following back of you. So you want flowing, no following back of these divine feminines, masculines, because I don't know why I said flowing, because they could be flowing, because they're having chronic stress. And that's from out there, out now. And that's look at yourself first. Baby needs to be able to accept, take the responsibility. Accept some people are not present and will not work with you to be able to release different ways. So they was not present. They weren't working to change that cycle. So you let go because you had to identify that support. And it's from others. You had to do like Reiki, connect, compassion, be creative. Look at those creative skills. Speak, get clarity, use your intelligence, take action. At that all knowing, you see my family members, friends, two-faced jobs where you was working, people had a social awareness of you, flight detached, weren't giving you that justice, didn't have compassion. You had to connect and be that hermit, and you had to go and get a high priestess energy, gain wisdom, get that balance, high clarity, connect to the divine. You had to look at the moon, the confusions, the illusions, your habits, people's habits, their ego. And if you can't get along, try and minimize contact. So you minimize the contact. You knew you couldn't get along with these people, blocked them off, stopped it. Keep speaking, keep pushing, keep irritating their lies. So you blocked the noise, you kept speaking, you kept pushing, you kept irritating their lies, because your protection prevented from harm. They quiet. They done too much to you. So block the noise. Now they're these feminines, masculines, fire signs, stubborn, controlling, these spiritual people. They done too much. You block them. All of a sudden, now they're missing you. Every step they take, every breath they take, every single day, every night they pray, they'll be missing you. You're going to see. Because this was some organised crime. This was family, friends, people in their community. Oh my days, family, friends, people in their community. They were going to get justice. They was trying to block your justice. Because what was this organised crime about? Fire. They was doing something with great willpower. Greed, actual energy, control. That was with creative, actual passion, stubborn. Assassination, they wanted you out of the game. Alive. You kept on moving because you was that gift. Spiritual gift, it was divine intervention. It was just the wrong timing. Now they're feeling blocked and stopped. They don't know what to do. They crying over you. Divine Masculine asked me out on a date. So they're going to let you know it was organised crime. Divine Masculine asked them out on a date. You're the one reporting news. So you're the one who's reporting this news about this justice, masculine, feminine, your family members, these friends, it was sexual energies, doing things in the unknown, trying to hold and block and stop speaking for money, assets, things that they had in secret. Now there's stress, conflict in their mind, because now they can see they're evolving. They was detached from their emotions because they was full of their actual energies. Now they're getting balanced, steadfast, organised. They're feeling spiritually blocked, so they knew it was wrong timing. Now they wanted to be able to give you a gift. They traced your credit card, reported it to a credit bureau, felony, interstate fraud. So they could have done interstate fraud on you for greed. Yes, used it to fix a car, a van, paid on the credit card. Oh, so that family member could have used it to fix car, van, to fix something to make sure it's better. They can see the associations. Pay to, one uses this one to pay off this one. Do a balance transfer from here and carry that one with that one. Baby, please don't take your love away. Love me forever, silently. Listen to the words I say. So now they don't want you to take that love away. They want you to listen to them silently, to the words that they say. They want this justice. You ain't scared of nobody. Everybody's scared of you. So you ain't scared of nobody. These people who try to say you are that assassination. You got that fire. You're just staying alive because they're feeling unalive. Not seeing him since college. So you're not seeing these family members, friends since college. Black people consume most liquor, alcohol. Now they're minimizing in their ears of black people. So that's like when you're drinking, greed, money, lust. A private investigator looking for you told him you're not in. So there could be a private investigator, some organized crime looking for you, justice. They could have said you're not there. Corner office, big window. You could be getting this corner office, big window in this job. You could move in up and you're moving and that's stirring up a fire because people have got social awareness of you. And that's you just using your intelligence to enable people to be able to be creative and social aware. So you could have that corner office, big window because you've got that independent style and a private investigators investigating. This is for you, reading of a will. Ooh, so you're going to see about this reading of a will. Somebody could be calling you. You could be hearing from a top person now coming to be able to come and speak and read out a will towards you. You could be having money that's invested, inheritances. You could be on that party and socialising. You could be taking slow and just gaining that justice balance. Please get your things out in half an hour. So they may have to come out of that property in half an hour. They could be upset now because they're thinking, oh my gosh, how am I going to come out of this property in half an hour? Where am I going to go? What am I going to do? They could be clinging on and trying to hold on. After the funeral, going back home. So after that funeral, you could be going back home to your house. Take that all as it resonates. Funeral, back home, driving. Got everything to offer a big city does. So you got a place could offer, their place could offer everything a small town could offer, everything a big city does. His grandma owned the place, so their grandma could have owned that property, that place. We all loved Miss. She is good mother. So yeah, they all loved you, miss you. She was a good mother, godmother. Let's just see the time oracle. Let's see what's in this time, what you're going to see in time. Oh, we'll get that. It says patience required. So you may need patience required. Oh my days. They really want that card to go, guys. Making everything drop. It says not in this time. That organised crime ain't going to get you in this time. Don't you worry. It's not the right time. They have these illusions. Tomorrow, tomorrow, I love you. Tomorrow, it's only a day away. A few weeks could be significant. What's not in this lifetime. And it's not worth waiting for. So it's not worth fighting for. November could have been significant. More than a year. 6 months from now. Oh, you could hear about this child. You could have a baby 6 months from now. More than a year. You could be happy walking, strolling. November. It's not worth waiting for. Tomorrow. Take this all as it resonates, guys. We're just going to get some letters because I think this reading has been way too long and strong. That was way too many. We can't do that. Right, you're going to know about these foes that was trying to block you. That was your footstool because you ruled. 2, off 2. You could be off 2. You could be in back someone's toe. You're going to fuck you. Someone's book you. You know about this bucket. F'd it. You could be getting that jackpot, dot, bot, vote. You could be getting that vote, UK vote. Is the voting coming up soon? Is there going to be elections? Is this why then justice and these people are going to be putting these things in about money, taking control, power, dominant over resources, pages, youth ideas when you want to move and be creative? The institutions, government's going to, you have to vote about these institutions. You're going to be doing certain things. They're going to rotate things around. Kids, something to do with these kids, UK kids, borders. Take it all as it resonates. There's Matt wrote, riot. Jobs. You're going to look up some jobs. Could be working jobs with kids. Could be enabling kids. Pay, P and Y. You. Poor. You could be hearing about these poor kids. Could be something to do with food. You're going to hear about these foes. Something about toe. F-U-C-K. T-E-B-J-V-R-D. On the verge. Take this all as it resonates, guys. Always leave the rest for the best. Don't stress.